What's up guys, how's everybody doing today? So this is going to be some version or episode number of new stuff. This is a series that I do just to keep everybody kind of updated on what's new and going on with the channel, and that way you can give me feedback on stuff that you are interested in seeing or maybe stuff that you're not interested in seeing, and so I can kind of gauge what the audience likes. So basically what I did is I took all the YouTube money that I've ever made, I stored it all in a bank account, and I bought all of these headphones. No, I'm just kidding. These are all sent in by friends of the shows, viewers of the channel, stuff like that. And I do want to give a quick shout out to both the Patreon and the viewers who do send things in. You guys really do help the channel a lot, and I'm very thankful that you guys are willing to trust me with your gear to review and give my honest opinions about. And so without that support, I wouldn't be able to do this. So again, thank you guys very much. If you do have anything that you would like to send into the channel, please email me. There's a link in the description down below that will take you where you need to go for that. All right, so let's start off with the amplifiers and then get on with the headphones over here. So Monoprice sent out their Liquid Spark. This review is going to be coming out pretty soon. It's I think it's either a 1.5 or 2 watt amplifier. It's pretty good. I know there's kind of an elephant in the room with the JDS Labs Atom, and we'll talk about that in the full review. But overall, this is still a very, very good amplifier. But I'll get way more in depth, and there's a lot of things I want to talk about with that amplifier in the full review. So while I was editing this video, this showed up, which is, I believe, just the Jotunheim. Let me move this stuff out of the way here really quick. All right, there we go. It's upside down, why? All right, let's pull this sucker out. That's heavy, man. That is solid. All right, so that review is coming soon. Let me put this phone down so I can find a place to put this away. The next one is an amplifier that's quite popular, which is the Mastrop THX 789. Anyway, so this is a balanced, well, kind of half balanced, and I'll talk about that more in the review, amplifier, right? The measurements for this are off the chain if you're into measurements. Comes with like 3 different gain stages. It's a lot of fun. And then the big item over there, which I'm not going to pick up because it's heavy, and I'll just show you some of the beautiful B-roll that I took earlier, is the Mjolnir2. And this is going to be part of I'm going to individually review all those items, and then the AAA here, the Mjolnir2, and then Z is sending me a Jotunheim, and I have to ask if I'm able to say who he is, but somebody's sending me a Socris 1541 DAC, which is a fully balanced DAC. So I should have my NFB1 amp, the Mjolnir, the Jotunheim, and the AAA 789, and I'm going to do individual reviews of each of those. The first of which is going to be the 789, and I'm finally getting around to doing the review of my NFB1 amp. But I'm going to be doing like a shootout or a comparison, and don't worry, I know the Mjolnir is like a hybrid tube amp, but I have list tubes, which basically turns it into a solid state. So for that comparison, I'll be turning it into a solid state. Speaking of 1 amps, let's talk about the first headphone that I have here. This headphone is, no shit, the reason why I bought my NFB1 amp. I bought my 1 amp so that I could have enough power to power virtually any headphone that came in to the channel without anybody having any issues with power requirements. Because like one of the big things that people say a lot whenever I give a bad review is like, hey, like, are you powering these correctly? Do you have enough power? Which is a valid thing. That's a valid concern when somebody reviews an item. And so I bought the 1 amp so that I could have a good reference amplifier that could power anything and everything I threw at it. And one of the headphones that I was concerned about, like specifically, I think I may even said it in my amplifier video. I made a couple amplifier videos talking about my requirements for an amplifier and why I chose the 1 amp. Anyways, the HE-6 is an extremely hard to drive headphone. Like, if you don't know what the HE-6 is, people make adapters so that you can plug this into a speaker amplifier and power this off of a speaker amplifier because it's that hard to drive. In fact, my 1 amp will put out about 8.8 watts at 50 ohms, somewhere around there. I think it can put out like a max of like 9.9 watts at like 16 ohms or some ridiculous number. And specifically on quite enough songs like Arlington from the Wailing Jennies, I can max this out on balanced on my 1 amp, which is just nuts. Like that's absolutely insane. Like it's loud, but it's bearable. And the fact that with how the scale of the, I think it's either, what is it, an exponential scale of the volume control because it's on a resistor ladder rather than a volume pot, which kind of has a different, I think it's called a, volume pots are, forget the terminology for that, but volume pots basically, okay, this doesn't matter. We'll talk about that in the full review. So that's coming in. That's exciting. A review that I will have out soon. Most of these headphones, HE6 included, will be coming, the reviews of them will be coming out in January. There's only a few that I'm actually going to be doing this month. I already have all the videos planned for this month, like every single day. Actually, starting Friday, I'll be releasing a video every day, which is, the grind is going to be crazy. But a headphone review that is coming out soon is going to be the Focal Mass Drop Elex here. And this is a very interesting headphone. I don't know if it's the best measuring headphone in terms of flatness, but it is certainly a very flat sound signature if you've seen any of the frequency response graphs. Now, that I don't necessarily think that that directly equates to whether or not people like a headphone or not, but it's impressive to get a measurement as flat as these are providing, according to Massdrop's measurements. I haven't seen anybody else's yet. Whether or not they're enjoyable, you know, obviously I'll talk about that stuff in the full review, but they're pretty good. They're pretty insane headphones. So speaking of focals, those are the Alexas, and then up here we jump over to the Utopias, and these are, I want to say like the flagship. I mean, they have the, I mean, one of their headphones is like bedazzled with with gems and stuff, so that's obviously their flagship. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is their flagship. I'm not big on the Focal stuff, mainly because like pretty much everything has always been outside of the Elex, has always been outside of my price point, so I haven't really even considered it strongly. And these are actually the first two Focals that I've reviewed, so these are going to be very interesting. I'm actually thinking about comparing these two. I don't know if they're directly comparable. I mean, they're the same company, same basic design, although the Utopias are quite a bit heavier. So I'll think about it, but I got a lot of videos to make already, so it's going to be kind of crazy. So surprisingly, this actually looks a lot better in person than it does on video or photo. I wasn't a huge fan of the looks on video or photo, and I actually don't mind it in person. I'm still kind of making up my mind about it, but overall I think it's a good looking headphone. It's very well constructed. The box for it is absolutely insane. And I'll show all that stuff in the full review for this too, so that's coming. All right, then over to this headphone. Now, I want to ask your guys' help for this headphone. So this is the TR-XOO, and it's the same as the TH-XOO in terms of sound quality. Just the TR has a R, stands for removable cable, I guess. So I've been having some issues with this headphone. It's the Mahogany Edition. The owner of this put like a partial lot mod on it, and it wasn't working out. Like, it wasn't sounding good at all. The bass performance isn't substantial. The treble performance was like way too sibilant and bright. And I'm not sure if that's just gonna be the fate of this headphone, because I've tried a bunch of different modifications to this, different pads. I mean, right now I have Bayer Dynamic DT1990 hybrid pads from Deconi on here. Actually, they're not even placed on here right now. I've tried different backing materials, different foam materials, and I cannot get these to sound good. So perhaps that's a little bit of a spoiler for the review, but I really want to get these to a point where I can give them a good review and send them back to the owner in an enjoyable way, because he wasn't liking them, I'm not liking them. So if you have any recommendations, I'd love to hear it in the comments down below. Otherwise, the fate of that thing for the review is not very good. All right, and then we have the a pretty insanely large headphone, which is surprisingly light, especially for what it is. This is the HE1000. This is version 1, a very large planar magnetic headphone. As you can see, the entire driver takes up that kind of area right there. It's pretty big if you're new to the headphone industry. And these things sound pretty good. I'm not sure what the price range they're coming in right now, because I know it's a a couple-year-old design, and I know they have a version 2. They're very, very interesting. I listened to them a little bit yesterday because I've only had all these headphones since yesterday. I think this is one of those love it or hate it designs. I'm totally on the love it side. Like, I love the look. I love the wood look. I love the silver with the kind of the caramely look of the wood and the caramel like headband color with the silver. It just looks so good to me. I don't know why. And then incredibly lightweight, and it actually feels really good in the hand to me. The headband is a little floppy, but that's okay. HD800s, the famed HD800s. This is actually not the first time I'm going to be listening to this headphone on my own territory. And I'm going to talk about this in the full review, so I'm sorry if it's going to be a little bit redundant. But when I first got into audio, the first headphone that I bought was a HD800, and I didn't really like them. I liked them for certain things, and so I'm curious to see how my tastes have changed, if at all, and if I can like these now or not like them, or if I still hold true to what I thought back then. But after I've had all the experience that I have with all the other headphones, very curious how they stack up with the modern headphones that are out here today. And this is actually one of the headphones out of this group that I'm actually most excited for, simply because I kind of have like a little bit of a biased opinion about it. And I've only heard these a little bit, but I'm going to go into this review trying to prove myself wrong about them in the past, find a way to enjoy them. So yeah, this will be interesting. I mean, there's a ton of reviews for these. They're one of the most popular, like super high-end, over $1,000 headphones. So maybe nobody will watch it because it's just been done a billion times. But yeah, I'm curious about it. All right, and then the last headphone that I have for you is the Audeze LCD-4s. These are the top of the line Audeze headphones that they make from the LCD series. They are incredibly heavy. I think they're very, very good looking between the silver accents and the wood and the carbon fiber headband. I think they're a very good looking pair of headphones. I'll talk more about sound quality after I've heard them, but so far I'm impressed, but I haven't listened to them for too long, so I don't really have any first impressions of them. I did listen to these a little bit at RMAF, and I got a little bit of experience there, but that's kind of in like a noisy environment that I don't know holds as a good reference listening environment. So guys, I think that's gonna wrap it up. Thanks for sticking with me here and watching all this stuff. And the main reason why I do this is to get feedback from you guys. So I love the feedback. Like, I'm not doing this to flex or anything. I don't own anything on this table. The only thing I own is this table, like the IKEA table right here. And my channel updates revolve around buying some sound dampening stuff for the audio in this room, which still isn't great. I think I need to buy more, but I'm kind of in a weird spot anyway, so it might be reflective, it might not, I don't know. Anyways, curious what you guys think, and I'm looking forward to your comments down below, and I think I'll have a regular review of something on Friday, and that'll be the first day of the giveaway, which if you haven't signed up for the giveaway, there's a link in the description to learn how. All right, thanks.